What is up, guys, and welcome to today's video. For this one, we will be looking at the World Cup qualifier taking place on the 22nd of November between Brazil and Argentina. Now, this is one of those weird games again where kickoff is at kind of like 2:30 a.m. for me. But I definitely intend to watch this one too. I try to watch the Uruguay match, a very physical match between Uruguay and Argentina. But this one too is gonna be a bit of a stretch for me. But anyway, the last time these two sides met was on the 17th of November 2021. Qualification for the Qatar 2022 World Cup. The match ended in a goalless stalemate between the two, so there's not too much I can say about it. But what I would like to stress is that back then Argentina was struggling to qualify, while Brazil had already sealed their qualification. And this time it seems that the roles may be reversed. We start off our team analysis with Brazil. The last 5 matches for the Selecao have ended in 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. It is pretty difficult for Brazil right now, especially considering their last match was a 2-1 defeat away at Colombia, who then stole 3rd place from the Samba Kings. Players I need to highlight for Brazil, obviously you got to talk about Rodrigo. His 2 goals and his single assist for them so far have been pivotal in getting them to where they are. Next up, I want to talk Bruno Guimaraes. Now, Guimaraes will be required to seal up the midfield, just keep things tight up there, and ensure that there's enough distribution to the forward line. And lastly, I want to talk Rafinha. Now, Rafinha has been given a golden opportunity this time round with Brazil. There's a lot of injuries to the Brazilian squad. This means that Rafinha gets the perfect opportunity to finally make his mark on the Brazilian national team and cement his place in the starting 11. Next up, I want to talk Argentina. It has been 4 wins and a single loss for them in their last 5 matches. Their last match ending in a 2-0 defeat at home to Uruguay. That has been the first loss for Albiceleste since the Qatar World Cup, where they lost their opening match to Saudi Arabia. Obviously, the player we got to talk about first here is Leo Messi. It has been 3 goals for him so far in this qualification campaign. Messi is the kind of player who you would expect to turn any fixture on its head. Just so much talent in him that he can score, he can assist, he can find passes, he can do anything and everything. On top of it all, Messi's become a fantastic team leader for Argentina, and that's exactly what they need right now. Next up, I want to talk Rodrigo de Paul. Now, de Paul has been affectionately nicknamed Messi's bodyguard because de Paul's role now is to ensure that there's not too much pressure on Messi, so he's always available as an outlet for Messi to pass to. But de Paul does extra work defensively so that Messi doesn't have to. The problem with de Paul, though, is sometimes his physicality does get him into a bit of trouble. And finally, I want to talk Angel Di Maria. His 2 assists make him the leading assist provider in the Argentine squad. Di Maria is also one of those players who can just turn a match on its head. He was fantastic for Argentina against France in the World Cup final in 2022 in Qatar. But right now, Di Maria's role at Argentina has been sort of restricted to cameo appearances. But I think what's interesting to note about both Messi and Di Maria is that despite the fact that Argentina lost 2-0 to Uruguay, both Messi and Di Maria were given ratings of 4 out of 5 stars or higher, which is just sublime. Okay, we move on to the head-to-head. This is such a perfectly balanced fixture. The last 5 matches between these two sides have ended in 2 wins for Brazil, 1 draw, and then 2 wins for Argentina. This is usually a tight, physical fixture where both sides have their magicians, but both sides also have their kind of their defensive rocks and their midfield destroyers, whose roles will probably be to just limit those magicians, prevent them from getting the ball, and just restrict their movement overall. Right now, I really do pity Brazil. If you look at Brazil's squad selection for these qualifiers, They're without Neymar. Obviously, his knee injury will rule him out for a very, very long time. They're without Casemiro. So in midfield, despite the fact that they've got Bruno Guimaraes, they're going to struggle a little there too. They're without Vinicius Jr. now as well, who picked up an injury against Colombia. They're without Gabriel Jesus, or rather Gabriel Jesus is a major doubt. So right now, Brazil are missing, crucially, a number 9 player. You could say Richarlison would fill that role, but he was not selected for this time. Argentina are still very confident despite having lost. They look very, very strong. If you look at Argentina's squad, this is a squad that could go into a World Cup tomorrow and still compete. If you look at Brazil's, it's not that competent, I would say. Argentina have taken that loss very, very well. Messi has gone out and said, it is basically one of those things that happens. It was only a matter of time before they lost. They got to get it out of their system, and now they can pick themselves up and get back to their winning ways. For Brazil, I think a big thing that they may have to consider here is changing their formation. They went out against Colombia with a 4-4-2 with Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. as strike partners. Obviously, the coach expected them to rework their magic from their club days at Real Madrid, but it's not working right now. And I think the biggest problem for Brazil right now is, as I say, they have no out-and-out number 9. I think Brazil may have to switch to a 4-3-3, make use of players like Rafinha out wide, let let Rodrigo play out wide, and then I think it's João Pedro who's made his debut now as well, or he started coming into Brazil's squad. Let him play as an out-and-out number 9. Worst case scenario, I think Brazil may have to look at playing similarly to how they played in 2002 when they had a front line of Ronaldinho, Ronaldo Nazario, and Rivaldo, where you've got all of them playing kind of as a strike duo, but also one of them playing as a number 10, and then they rotate every few minutes. But looking at this Brazil squad right now, I don't think they have anybody who can play that number 10 role, per se. So I think right now they're going to have to switch to a 4-3-3 with wingers and an out-and-out number 9. The question is, can João Pedro play that number 9 role? For Argentina, I think they just need to stick to doing what they do best. As Messi said in the interview as well, they were kind of suffocated by Uruguay. Obviously, Uruguay are a very physical squad, but Uruguay are also a very young and a fresh squad. So they've got energy, they've got enough lung capacity to put pressure on you all the time, and that's exactly what they did with Argentina. I think Brazil right now, they're lacking goals, they're lacking creativity, they're lacking a lot, and Argentina can take advantage of this. I think Argentina win this one. I think also what's very interesting to note is every time these sides meet, it's not a goal fest. As I said earlier on, it's very tight, it's very physical. I think 1 goal or 2 goals is just gonna be enough here, but I think Argentina are gonna edge Brazil out here. Brazil are a wounded animal. They're 5th in the qualifying right now with 7 points. Argentina are still 1st with 12. Argentina kind of had a lifeline because even though they lost to Uruguay, Uruguay are still 2nd and 2 points behind La Albiceleste. Brazil, on the other hand, went from being 3rd, dropping 2 points. Thankfully, if they win this match, they could climb up probably back to 3rd. But I don't see that happening. I do think Argentina are heavily favored here simply because Argentina have everybody available to them. Not just in their starting 11, but you look at players on the bench, Lautaro Martinez, Di Maria came off the bench. They've got so many players who can just fill so many roles. McAllister, Enzo Fernandez. Whereas Brazil right now are just struggling. And I expect them to continue struggling for this one as well. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button, so you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much, it really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and have a great day out there, and we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks, stay safe.